Okay, welcome back. There's some more that we need to show you. What I'm going to do in this podcast, I'm going to actually show you how you can add entities, and they could be standard CRM entities, or they could be your own custom entities. I've just launched iDcrm. I'm on my customized home screen that I did in the previous two podcasts. And what I'm going to show now is the setup option you got here at the bottom. If you tap on that, you will get your setup screen. You've got your authentication here, because if you would need to change your password due to password policies, you can change it here if you want. And you get the option additional entities, and that's the main one I'm going to be going through. I'll just show you the other options. You got sync at startup, silent sync, and basically these two syncs are data only syncs, so we're not actually changing any design or anything. Sync at startup means every time you launch iDcrm, it will start syncing the data in the background. Silent sync means when you're working with iDcrm, every time you do an insert or you do an update, it will try to synchronize that directly. And each sync is two-way, so it will send your change to CRM and it will take it back. I'm going to go into the sync on my next podcast. For this podcast, I'm going to be looking at the additional entities because I want to add some stuff to my CRM. So if I tap on additional entities, I get an empty screen because I haven't added any yet. Tap on the plus sign, and basically I get a list of all the entities that are in iDcrm, so I can just scroll through them. And in this case I want to get the cases, because for our help desk I want to get that on my iPhone as well. I also do quite a bit of sales, and I would, sorry, mistyped on that, so I'm going through it again, selecting case, going through it a bit further, and I'm going to be looking for leads because I want my leads. I'll just leave it as that for now. So I've got two entities. Then when I click on OK, it will actually ask me, will tell me it has to resync and get the definition of those two entities. But it will ask me, of those two entities, then do I only want to get my own data, yes or no, and how old do I want to get the data? And this option goes for both the entities I just added. So if you would want to add one entity with only your own data and one entity with a lot more data, you have to go through this setup twice. So I could go in, I can select 10 entities, but these two questions will apply to all 10 of them. I've only got two. I don't want my own data, I want everything because I want to see all the cases, and I don't want 3 months, I want everything, so I don't want to filter on date. I click on OK, and in this case it will do the, not the background sync, but it will do a full sync, because we actually have to get all the design elements that belong to the entity. So it's not just getting the data, it's getting the screen definitions, all the relationships between the entities, and it's basically rebuilding CRM locally. So this will always take a bit longer than a data sync. Although I know data syncs are quite fast, I don't know how long they actually take, because they're in the background, so you don't really see it. But this one you have to wait for it to finish. Well, it just finished. I can go back to my home screen. You see nothing's changed, and this is where it's different to the old iDcrm. Because in the old iDcrm, you would actually have those two entities added here by default. But because we've got the custom home screen now, you can set it up in any way you want. So to add those entities to my home screen, I have to use the icon again. So I'm going to go back in, and I've got relationship management, and I actually want to add a group called services. So I'm going to go in there, let's call it service. Oh, let's call it customer care, that's an even better name. Customer care. Customer care, that one's done then. And I'm going into relationship. No, I'm not going into relationship, I'm going into customer care. I want to show the group content. The group is still empty, and now I can start adding stuff. So now I can do add entity, which I couldn't do in my previous podcast. And you'll see it's actually added 3 entities. And that is, I only added the case and the lead, but the MicroCRM cases functionality only works if you have the contracts. So iDcrm is smart enough to actually add the contracts as well if you choose case. So in my services, I want contract, and I want to add another entity. I want to have my cases there. So I'll do done on that. Then I'm going back into my relationship management, show the group content, because I want my leads in my relationship management. So I'm going to do add entity, add my leads in there, and just to click on plus again, any entity that has been added to a menu turns grey, so you can't select it again. So every entity can be on your home screen once. So click on done, and click on done again, and let's have a look at my, well, let's change the ordering, because the HTML is not that important, so I'm just going to move that one up. Click on done, and there's my new home screen. So I got my relationship management, which has now got leads as well. I've got customer care, which has got contracts and cases, and all the functionality I've been showing you in my previous podcast works on these as well. So if I click on case, you'll see by default we put the name field there, and we do that on any entity that you add. But again, you've got your few options. So you can say, okay, I want my status to be active, I want it to be grouped by title, but I could say I want it to be grouped by a customer, or just put customer there. And on the display, you see that by default we put the title, and the other ones are still empty. So, which I case type, and then to the right of that we will put reason, just whatever, done. And you'll see that I've changed my view, the way it looks, and I can actually search through my my cases. And that's how easy it is to sort of set up any additional entity you have. The nice thing I'll just open up a case. Doesn't matter which one, it's a problem. When I look into one of the screens, you see the problem is related to customer AS International. So I'm just going to tap into AMS International because I want to show you that we link all the entities together. So if I'm looking at an account, I can actually go into the more options, and you'll see that all the entities I've added are here as well. So if I'm looking at AMS International, I can see, are there any cases? Yes, there is a case, and I can go straight back into my case. So not only do we add the entity, but we also add the relationships that are there between accounts, between contacts, between cases, whatever there is. So we're really rebuilding your CRM environment. And this is what I wanted to show you on how you can add entities to iDcrm, and how powerful that makes iDcrm, because any custom table you've added, anything you can add to iDcrm. So I hope you're getting excited, and well, I am, and it's brilliant. We use it ourselves as well. It's a great application. So any more questions, just let us know. This is the final podcast for now. Hope you like it, and looking forward to talking to you soon. Okay, goodbye.